Hi, my name is Rainy. I'm a Dutch pagan, and today I wanted to share with you what I think is so great about paganism. Well, first of all, when you're a pagan, that means nature is your church, which makes a lot of sense to me. Just look around you here. You can feel a stillness here, and you can feel a force, which makes sense to me. One of the big advantages of being a pagan is there is no power structure. It's not a top-down organization. It's not like Catholicism, where there's the Pope and he decides and you have to do everything. But even when you're a Protestant, there are some pretty firm boundaries on what you can and what you can't do within your faith. And paganism isn't top-down. It's basically an inverted pyramid. It's grassroots. So if you want to say, like, excuse me, I want to worship Forseti and I want to try and connect with him and offer to him and get close to him and align myself to his light, you're not only free to do it, but you're also pretty free with how you go about it. So it gives a lot of freedom. If I compare that to like the other world religions, like Christianity and Islam, you know, there's a lot of things you can and can't do. Also, there's a lot of getting on your knees, which, you know, doesn't really suit me. Constantly being told that God is great, constantly you on your knees, I don't think that's helpful. I don't think that's helpful at all. Even when you go into like these old churches, you know, they're very nicely built. And there's always the same design when it comes to the church. A Christian church, you come in and there's this area with the benches and it's nice, but then you come to the altar and the roof rockets up and there are the lovely stainless steel windows and the sun comes through these stainless steel windows and it gives you this feeling like, oh, it's so big. But because it's so big, it makes you feel like you're small. For me, it's like they're playing a psychological game. Like you come into church, they make you feel small, so they psychologically make you more malleable. It's basically the same when you go into a courthouse here in Holland. It's always like this. The defendant is always on the low ground and the judge is always on the high ground, giving you the impression that like you're small, they're big, they're right, and you're wrong. So that's the thing I don't like about like the two religions, and that's the things you don't like in paganism. Actually, I think in paganism you find exactly the opposite of what you find in the Abrahamic religions. And what I mean by that is, instead of making you feel small, it helps you to feel big. And not in a very shallow and convoluted way, just thinking you are the man, but it helps you achieve goals and it helps you take responsibility for your actions. And I think there's a promise in paganism. I think we've all seen these YouTube videos, these conspiracy theories, where they always go like, the elites are having satanic rituals in the woods. You know, I think we all seen one or two of those. To be honest, I kind of like them, but like for me as a pagan, when I see they're doing satanic rituals, that like I'm not scared of the devil. It doesn't come into my mind. I think just Lucifer is one of the old horned gods and is the bringer of light. And I do believe that in high circles they are doing ritual magic and they are doing ceremonies and initiations, and I believe they are doing that. But why? Because it works. They're doing it because it works. I have a feeling that like the people on top of the pyramid of our society are doing these rituals because they work, and they're telling us, just get on your knees in your church, and if it doesn't work, you know, just pray harder, you peasants. And I think that's the promise that paganism gives. You can be part of a great story, you know. The story is that the rich, they took the magic from the common folk. They hoarded it and they gave us religion. Paganism is when we take our magic back. So part of me likes this revolutionary idea of working with gods, working with archetypes, working with forces in nature in places like these, and bringing that back to the people and bringing that back to our normal way of life. That's what I really love about paganism. And when I think about what's so good about paganism, I have to go back to my vision that I had that Odin told me. If you don't know, please watch the previous video. I talk about it in depth. But Odin basically told me to invest in cryptocurrency. Now that sounds kind of random and crazy. And I thought about it a lot. Why did he do that? You think like it's about money. I don't think it's about money at all. I think it's about growth. But to understand that, you have to know a bit like who I am. And I'm the type of person who's very comfortable just observing things. I like to look at a distance. Don't come too close to me. I can just get some insights and feel safe. I'm always very careful. So when Odin came down and he said to me, you need to invest in cryptocurrency, and well, he also told me another thing, but that's another video. But it was the same message in those two things that he gave me. It was, stop being so careful. Use your power. Take a chance. Go for it and grow as a human being. And I needed to hear that. So what's so great about paganism? What do I love about being a pagan? The fact that it helps me grow. Paganism in the end is just about empowerment. And I think that's sorely missing in the world. Where I live in Europe, Northern Europe, Christianity isn't so big as a thing as it is in America. And you have a lot of people searching for meaning in different ways and just ditching religion. I think this is a religion where you don't have to throw away your critical thinking. You don't have to throw away your personal development. I think this is a religion that can truly empower people. Take magic back from the Masonic lodges, back to the people, and empower you. Now, what's not to love?